bout is presented by Brave Nutrition. Behind the athlete, there are hours of training. Behind every hard training is Brave Nutrition. Ahmet Şimşek is eager to show the world he belongs in the big leagues as he makes his Brave CF debut against Miljan Stravkovic, an undefeated upcoming star who feels equally ready to make his splash internationally. Coming up next, Ahmet Şimşek takes on Miljan Stravkovic in a bantamweight bout.
Go Brave Nation! This first battle of the night is 3 5-minute rounds in the bantamweight division. Introducing your first warrior. Fighting out of the blue corner. This man's a mixed martial artist with a professional record of 2 wins and no losses. He stands 170 centimeters tall and weighs a ready 61.3 kilograms. Representing Secutor Smederava and fighting out of Smederava, Serbia. Please welcome Miljan Bushido Stravkovic. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. This man's a mixed martial artist with a professional record of 5 wins and 1 loss. He stands 170 centimeters tall and weighs a ready 61.7 kilograms. Representing Austrian MMA Academy and fighting out of Vienna, Austria by way of Turkey. Give it up for Ahmet Ronan
Şimşek, 10 years
Your
older.
referee
As I
is
said,
Dale
he's a
Keshe.
veteran of over 90+ professional kickboxing bouts. He has the composure, he has the skills to get it done, but he's never faced somebody with a wrestling background comparable to that of Miljan Stravkovic. A very, very exciting fight and prospect. Şimşek loosely translates into English as lightning, and when you see this guy striking, poetic justice kicked in, some kind of fate. Straight in with the front kick is Şimşek. You can see just how composed he is. He loves to lead the dance. He occupies the center as soon as the fight kicks off and just works behind that beautiful jab.
Şimşek has showed the power in his straight right. He also showed it previously with that jab. He's got 2 mighty fists in front of him.
Stravkovic trying to come over the top, but you can see just, nearly got clipped there. He needs to keep those hands up. Has to give Stravkovic the respect he deserves in there.
The fighter from Secutor maybe thinking about changing his level. There it was.
How good is the takedown defense? Needs to be wary of giving up his back here. Both hooks in. Stravkovic using that purple belt jiu-jitsu to try and make something happen here. Trying to go for the knee bar. Switches back to the rear naked choke. How good is the defense of Ahmet Şimşek? He essentially has a backpack in the form of Stravkovic.
Şimşek now needs to clear at least one of those hooks. He tried. He's pushing his hip down against the mat and trying to strip the foot off using the mat. He's cleared 1 hook. If he can clear the second one, he's going to be able to reverse and stand up. There you go.
Great job by Şimşek to weather the early grappling storm from Stravkovic and now pressures the young fighter against the cage.
This was a huge moment for Ronan, Phil. It showed he can get taken down, can get his back taken, and stay in the fight and get it back up to where he wants.
Having the striking ability that he has, I'd like to see him create a little bit of separation here and start working behind those strikes again. And this is where Ronan flourishes. Tries to pop off a nice 1-2 there, just grazed the chin of Stravkovic. That's a fun name to say, by the way, Stravkovic. Ronan just stalking right now, hasn't taken his eyes off. Done a great job there, just disguising the kick behind the hands.
Miljan circling now, maybe trying to take advantage of a little bit of reach.
He needs to be wary of circling into that power hand, but just tags the chin a little bit there. Miljan showing that he also has hands. That's the push kick, one of the naughtier moves in mixed martial arts. That push kick to the knee, perfectly legal, but as someone with a dodgy knee, every time I see it, it makes me cringe a little bit, Kerry.
Nice counter kick from Ronan.
Ronan looks like he's trying to set up a big uppercut. He has landed it clean in fights before, but Stravkovic, again, is not afraid to throw hands. He's not resting on reputation or ceremony here. He's mixing it up very well with an accomplished striker.
Phil, we've seen a lot of Secutor fighters, and they are all good. This is a highly trained, professional mixed martial artist in front of him. He's got a little problem to deal with. And he's gonna, in about the next minute, he'll come up with a game plan that's either gonna work or it's not. Right now he's circling, he's trying to download a little information, doesn't quite have a strategy yet.
And I guess at 22 years old, he hasn't really had the time to pick up any bad habits that, say, somebody like Šimšek, who's got a wealth of experience in K1, may have picked up purely striking. Trying to come over the top again is Zdravkovic. Very much holding his own here in the striking.
A little bit of a low blow. Absolutely unintentional. Fighters touched hands over it, showing excellent sportsmanship. Fighter has up to 5 minutes to recover from that, but he's absolutely not going to take it, as you can see.
The beautiful thing about Šimšek is if he injures his opponent, he can also treat them. He's actually a medic in the Austrian National Army. Popping well behind that jab. Just upping the frequency, turning it up a little bit more, giving Zdravkovic more problems to try and deal with here. Good shot to the midsection from Zdravkovic. Again, it's Šimšek who's leading the dance here, mixing it up with his levels.
Šimšek is starting to corral his opponent. He's starting to force his opponent to move in directions he wants, and that was the direction that Miljan wanted to take. Wanted to get in on those hips, just needs to be set up a little bit better.
Smart takedown defense exhibited there by Šimšek. Working the body very well, just changing up the frequency of his strikes, the levels, constantly stalking Zdravkovic.
That's the 5th shot to the body that we've seen Ronan throw. I believe he's trying to set up a headshot. He'll land one or two more shots to the body like that, and then he'll give it everything he's got.
And as we see so often in mixed martial arts, working the body is also an investment as you go into the later rounds. It depletes the fighter incrementally. Zdravkovic needs to be wary of keeping the hands up when he's moving back. Those flurries of Amit Šimšek, it's not the 2nd, 3rd, or even the 4th that catches, sometimes the 5th, but big shots again being thrown by Šimšek, who's in on a takedown of his own. Nice use of the wizard, needs to be wary of exposing that neck.
Again though, Phil, big moment for Ronan. He showed he can actually initiate with wrestling of his own.
Comes over the top again with a big shot. Right on the money, and Zdravkovic just hit it. Nothing you can say about Zdravkovic is he can take a shot, tried to mix it up with a flying knee, jumping push kick. Closes out the round. To be honest, I got so mixed up in the fight there, I didn't even hear the 10-second clapper to let us know that the round was ending. That's how frenetic and high-paced the action was in that first round. And what a way to open up the show, Carrington-esque.
Absolutely fantastic first round. I'm hoping we can get one of those greenies.
We are locked, loaded, and ready to go.
Round 2, baby. Curiously, Phil, I think both fighters may have a little increase in confidence here. They both felt what each other has. They've both been able to withstand it. You may see them both start to increase the aggression now.
Oh, big head kick attempt, just shy, but needs to be wary of hitting the back of the head there. Again, good heavy sprawl, but Zdravkovic trying to force Šimšek against the cage, and great awareness from Šimšek to angle out away from the cage, not making himself prone.
What I'm loving from Šimšek, Phil, is the scrambles. An even fight, and this is a pretty close fight so far. They're one in the scrambles, and he's able to go from grappling to striking in a split second. Not a lot of fighters at this level do.
Šimšek again just pawing out with that jab to set something up. A little bit of theatricality in this direction, giving Zdravkovic different looks. Neither fighter has fully settled in. I don't think either fighter has quite got the range or the measure of their opponent, but if anything, that just tells me how high level these guys are.
Well, Phil, Šimšek, what he wants to do is set down and let those hands really go, but the moment you set down, he's vulnerable to the takedown. And by contrast, of course, Miljan wants to get that takedown, but he's waiting for his opponent to set down on the shot so he can do it with great success.
And Šimšek has shown him the uppercut a few times, almost as if to say, if you come in lazy, I will pop this uppercut through your jaw. It's almost as if it's almost as if Šimšek is waiting for Zdravkovic to initiate that grappling exchange and work his counter strikes off that, Kerry.
I think he'd be happy countering either his opponent's strikes or his opponent's takedowns. I think he feels like he's a superior striker. He should be able to take advantage of shots coming in, and absolutely feels like he can stop that takedown now.
Yeah, a stiff shot there from Stravkovic.
As I said, these Secutor fighters are absolutely unbelievable.
Stravkovic needs to be careful when he's throwing that jab, not train tracking with it. They've opened up a little bit of a cut on Šimšek. See a little bit of blood just coming down underneath the right eye.
That can factor huge in the judges' scorecards when they see damage like that. And blood is a sign of damage. It counts for a lot.
Šimšek needs to be wary of chasing here. He can't. Has to keep it nice and controlled. He can't chase Stravkovic around the cage. I think a lot of people will be pleasantly surprised with the endeavor, heart, and intelligence shown by Miljan Stravkovic so far in the fight.
The local fighter, Phil, is absolutely doing himself proud.
Got caught with a little bit of a hook there. Took a bit of a deep breath.
Doesn't want his back that close to the fence.
Big overhand shot. He's thrown the overhand a couple of times. It hasn't quite landed as clean as he would have liked, but it's inching ever closer.
Now he's got that back off the fence.
Yeah, that jab has worked a couple of times from Stravkovic. Seems to be growing slowly in confidence with his own striking.
He's absolutely got confidence in his fists now, Phil. I think what I'd like to see him do is have some confidence in those kicks. He just got kicked hard. To psychologically stay in this fight, you got to kick him back hard. Let him know anything you can do, I can do better. There you go. Asked, answered.
As we've seen so often in mixed martial arts, the calf kick, which has become so prominent, is such a debilitating strike when they've been landed ad nauseum. Šimšek keeping those hands a little bit too low, just raises them now. Doing a good job of mixing up the angles. Blind takedown by Stravkovic. Momentarily, Šimšek bounces right back up again. Confidence growing here from Šimšek. Has defended 2 or 3 takedowns pretty cleanly.
That was a big lost moment for Bushido.
Straight popped off there by Stravkovic. Again, very close fight, Carrick. Nice little switch pop uppercut from Šimšek. Can't quite tell where we are in the rounds. I haven't been keeping track. We don't have it on our graphic, unfortunately.
About 25 seconds left, 10 left. Oh!
Great shot right down.
That right hand is landing.
Closing stances of the round. Stravkovic maybe pulled away in the closing stances or so, landing 2 very good shots there, Kerry.
Very hard rounds to score, Phil. It would not surprise me in the least, having said that, if we're looking at 19-19, what that means is whoever wins this last round wins this fight.
So if you're in the corner of either man right now, you're going to be telling them that the vast majority of it has been contested on the feet, Kerry. Now, is that by virtue of the fact that Stravkovic is gaining in confidence, or is it because Šimšek is able to defend the takedown, or perhaps a little bit of both?
It's because Ahmed Šimšek is not fighting the game that he'd love to be fighting. He's not setting down and letting those hands go. Instead, he's playing that game against a wrestler. He level changed, touched the ground, made the wrestler think his takedown was about to come in, and instead he landed that shot.
Very close fight leading into the 3rd and final round here. Šimšek trying to take out that lead leg of Stravkovic.
There's that big right hand that in the end may have won the fight for him.
Šimšek grabbing the leg, forcing Stravkovic to defend a little bit, but I don't think Šimšek has any interest in the takedown, Kerry.
Woo! Both of them landed clean shots at the same time.
Super difficult fight to score. very much on my page. And as I say, Kieran, what a way to open up Brave CF 56 live from Belgrade, Serbia. Šimšek has been the one moving a little bit more. Trying to get in with that jab to hook to straight. There it is again.
Šimšek, there you go. Šimšek is having some luck, throwing at angles and then straight.
He's caught again with that right hand from Zdravkovic.
He's playing a very dangerous game now, Phil. He's staying at the range where he can actually land a shot by leaning just a little bit. But that, of course, is a range where you can get hit, too.
I think it's fair to say that Šimšek is probably a little bit surprised by the striking ability and the ability to eat a shot of Zdravkovic here tonight.
He's fighting a Serbian, and Serbians are, in one single word, tough.
In two single words, I'd go as far as to say very tough.
Indeed, Phil, indeed.
Oh, nice shot again over the top, leaping hook. And you can see Šimšek feels, you can see he knows he needs to turn it up a little bit more. Again, big heavy.
Nice sprawl, beautiful heavy hips.
Third and final round, Ahmet Ronan Šimšek turning it up here. Trying to work his way to the finish and potentially, oh, nice elbow attempt, trying to get that sixth professional win in his young mixed martial arts career, trying to take the O from Zdravkovic.
Inside calf kick, very nice. Does a great job, too, of setting up the outside calf kick.
Šimšek changing levels well, man. You feel like his output has been the higher in the third round here, Carrick?
Very, very hard bout to score.
Yep. This is why we are a commentary team, not part of the judging committee.
I do think Miljan needs to be just a little bit more aggressive. And that was a great way to do it. He's got to cover now. He can't let his opponent scramble up. There he goes. No missed opportunity on that takedown. We had one earlier. He's got his opponent covered now. It's a big moment for him.
Šimšek does have 2 wins by submission, so Zdravkovic needs to be careful in this position. Can't allow Šimšek to create those little pockets of space by switching the hips. You can see he's trying to move, perhaps trying to set up the armbar. Has a foot on the hip. Usually that's indicative of trying to create an angle. Pushing away, trying to get back up. Nice work by Zdravkovic just to crowd the work of Šimšek and smother the work that Šimšek is trying to do.
It's an absolutely huge moment for Miljan now. Got his opponent down and he's holding him down. Landing some shots, they're not causing a lot of damage, but he's absolutely, positively, during this part of the bout, ahead.
Again, it could be so difficult for the judges to score if Zdravkovic is to finish up on top. A lot of the striking was controlled in the third round by Šimšek, but then the takedown scored by Zdravkovic. He's doing his work now. Very, very difficult back and forth fight.
We have been lauding the striking of Ahmet Šimšek. Yep. He is, as you referenced earlier, a very accomplished grappler as well. 2 wins via submission.
Zdravkovic does a great job to advance his position into the half guard.
Regarded very quickly.
Has one butterfly. Needs to make something happen here off his back to Šimšek. Constant work from Zdravkovic, trying to create space for himself, trying to pass. 10 seconds left in the third and final round. Big swing and a miss from Zdravkovic.
Whoa! Mighty up kick from Ronan.
And again.
Round ends. Absolutely fantastic job, gentlemen.
What a way to kick off the card here in Belgrade. Both fighters leaving absolutely everything inside the cage. And you could say, Kirk, it all comes down to the interpretation of that third and final round. The striking to open up. Šimšek, but then
all right, Brave Nation, what a way to start our historic night. After 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecard. Your first judge scores about 30-27. And your next 2 judges scored about 29-28. For your winner, by unanimous decision, out of the blue corner, from Serbia, Miljan Zdravkovic.
Got some of that great action via courtesy of Green Hill. You see this back take? It was a huge moment. Those hooks are in absolutely solidly. There was the threat of a rear naked choke, and it was stopped. Here we see an excellent exchange between these two fighters.
Absolute war of attrition from both men. Miljan Stravkovic, he said in the post-fight interview, he wanted to show how well-rounded he was, wanted to surprise Šimšek a little bit with his striking, and I think he fully did that, and in doing so, earned the respect of Šimšek in that fight.
Absolutely did, Phil. The sportsmanship that these two athletes showed after the bout absolutely moved me. To see them each raise the other's hands up and say, "You're the champion." "No, sir, you're the champion." Really a great moment in the Brave cage.
Like I said, inside the cage, when I was speaking to Miljan Stravkovic at only 22 years of age, now at 3-0, the MMA world really is at this young man's feet. It'll be interesting to see what he does moving forward now and whether he can really break through going from prospect to contender.
Phil, I do believe he can break through, and I believe I know where we're going to see him break through, and that's going to be the Brave Combat Federation cage. Closing out the action from the fight. Oh, look at that shift into a right jab. And this was maybe the most momentous moment of the entire bout. This was a takedown. Milos ended up covering from top, landed a pretty effective ground and pound from there.
Again,
This bout is brought to you by Brave Gym. Training for mind, body, and spirit. Brave, it's more than a gym. Amateur superstar Nikolai Nikolov gets his big international break as a professional when he takes on Milos Cvetkovic, an undefeated Serbian rising star who has all of his wins by stoppage. Coming up next, Nikolai Nikolov takes on Milos Cvetkovic in a catchweight bout of 77 kilograms.
Gentlemen of Brave Nation, before we begin, we want to give a huge shout out and thank you to a crucial element of tonight's Brave 56 Serbia, and that is arena sports. Here we go, Brave Nation. This next battle is 3 5-minute rounds in a 77-kilogram catchweight bout. Introducing your first warrior. Fighting out of the blue corner. This man's a mixed martial artist with a perfect professional record of 4 wins and no losses. He stands 188 centimeters tall and weighs a ready 77 kilograms. Representing CES and fighting out of Belgrade, Serbia, please welcome Milos Cvetkovic. And his opponent. Fighting out of the red corner, this man's a mixed martial artist with a perfect professional record of 3 wins and no losses. He stands 183 centimeters tall and weighs a ready 76.8 kilograms. Representing Descent MMA team and fighting out of Varna, Bulgaria, give it up for Nikolai Nikolov. Your referee is Vladimir Mladinov.
Big shout out to the Serbian MMA Federation, who've done an absolutely fantastic job.
There you see the tail of the tape, 2 years younger and a little bit shorter is Nikolai Nikolov. But if anything, I think that's going to work in his advantage. I think he's going to want to duck under, score that takedown. A real hallmark of his fighting style is his devastating top game and his vicious takedowns.
Expecting Kawhi to go out aggressively. There it was. I was a split second too late.
He throws right down the pipe, putting the pressure on Cvetkovic right away.
Phil, those high kicks, even if they're blocked with a forearm, can cause damage to that forearm. In the history of mixed martial arts, we've actually seen broken radius from that kick. That kick landed with some solid impact, even though it wasn't on the head or neck.
Nice head movement there from Cvetkovic. Needs to get his back off against the cage, and there we see Nikolai straight in on the takedown, scores it big, and this is where he does some of his best work. Transitions immediately into that half guard position.
Huge moment as Fele can get back to his feet without taking much of a shot. He's trying, he's got that foot trapped. Oh, it's just beautiful work from on top, Phil.
Nikolai just has such a suffocating top game. Doing a good job of elevating the legs. Looks like he's
looking to shelf him. Yep.
Going full Khabib on his opponent. And it's just such an effective approach in mixed martial arts. You have to give credit to Cvetkovic. He's getting right back up. Needs to beware of a big overhand coming.
Big moment for Svele in this fight. He's proven he can get taken down, survive that attack, get up to standing and land some shots of his own.
But again, the danger when you sit down on your strikes against somebody like Nikolai Nikolov is that it gives him the opportunity to grab a hold of you, close the distance, get in for that takedown. Turn it into that really gritty grapple style of fight that's so exhausting, Carrick.
Nikolai is doing an absolutely phenomenal job, both with the striking and with the grappling aspect of this fight so far. He's got his opponent well pinned up against that fence, landing relatively light shots, but they might not look like they hurt that bad on TV, Brave Nation. They hurt.
Nice little elbow on the break. And Cvetkovic really is going to have to try and keep Nikolai on the end of his punches. Use that long jab. He cannot be a sitting duck. Constant movement. Needs to get on the bike after he lands his shots. Getting a nice little leg kick in as Milos.
Phil, Nikolai is almost eerily confident in this fight. He thinks, it looked to me like he thought he knew what his opponent had even before the fight. I think he feels like if he just sets down, he can catch his opponent and end it, but you can get caught too.
Cvetkovic trying to go to the top with those shots. A big looping hook. Nice kick from Nikolai. Fully expect him to land a couple of shots of his own. That was a beautiful straight, just pinged the head back of Cvetkovic. I think Nikolai, a very, very intelligent fighter, may try and beat Cvetkovic into a stand-up war and then just whoop underneath for the takedown. Needs to be wary just of backing up. Needs to circle off from the angles to Cvetkovic.
Very interesting fight, Phil. Normally, both fighters spend, it can be more than half of the first round trying to download the other what's the other person's reaction time? What's their strength? What's their endurance like? Got a little potential accidental eye poke there. Referee has broken the action.
And it's such an issue with it. It's never intentional. It's such an issue with these open gloves, these small fingerless gloves, that a lot of the time when you paw out, as if you would when you're boxing, your hands are extended. It grazes the eye, and it's not with malicious intent. It's more a manufacturing issue that hasn't been addressed yet in mixed martial arts apparel.
Hopefully we can get a Green Hill replay, a little bit better look at what happened. I don't think there was significant damage, and here we go. Let's see if we can see what happened. And there it was right there.
I'm still none the
pawing
wiser.
Shot. Unfortunately, from that angle, Brave Nation, we don't have anything definitive, but good news, the fight's back on.
And we're right back into the action. Nikolai receives a warning to keep the hands closed if he's pawing out. You can hear the referee just say, "What's the fingers there?"
Once again, Phil, big shout out for the Serbian MMA Federation. They are doing a phenomenal job here tonight.
Nikolai looks like he's trying to set up a big right hand here, just as Cvetkovic is coming in.
Nikolai's got to watch those fingers. It's a new part of the unified rules, but you cannot reach out with your fingertips pointing towards your opponent.
Nice straight landed there by Nikolai. Looks very, very calm at only 24 years old, this being only his 4th professional bout, but that grounding in amateur mixed martial arts, nearly 50 bouts, just has him primed and ready to get things really going in his professional career here. He's doing a good job of negating those long limbs of Cvetkovic. Carrick, what does Cvetkovic need to do to get a little bit more of a foothold in this fight?
He's got to play the in and out game a little bit more. He's got to try and go in, go out, go in, go out, try and draw his opponent forward and catch him as he comes in. If he stays at the same range, that's exactly what's going to happen.
That is fantastic MMA intelligence by Nikolai. realizing that there was only a couple of seconds left in the fight to try and get in.
He's telling him to breathe, give him a drink of water, one good thing, one bad thing, and let's see some of the good and bad things. Phil, walk us through.
Nikolai has been trying, well not trying, but he's been successful with that straight right every time. He's setting it up nicely, going jab, jab, pop, jab, jab, pop. And there was that a slight eye poke that we saw. I think it was more just a brushing the finger against the eye there, no malicious intent. And there's that straight again from Nikolai. Both these guys primed and ready to go. Superior conditioning. And a nice pace set so far by both men. Nikolai again pulling with that jab.
Nikolai trying to set up that right hand right there.
And interestingly, it's been Nikolai who's really been controlling the striking. He seems to have found his distance a little bit quicker than Cvetkovic. Again, so quick with the hands, exhibiting real solid boxing fundamentals. Not trying to do anything too overly elaborate, sticking to the jabs, straights and hooks.
Nikolai is starting to impose himself. I hit you, you get hit. You try and hit me, you get hit. That's what we're seeing right here.
Cvetkovic just needs to commit to his strikes a little bit more. He's not throwing with any great intent right now. You can see he's almost pulling out of little bits and pieces, but good shot with the lead hook from Nikolai. He's really selling into his range now, isn't he, Kirik?
He is. Those shots are starting to land true. That belly shot, for instance, I don't know how well you can hear, Brave Nation, but that shot was absolutely clean to the body. Sounded a little bit like a cricket bat on a watermelon.
Cvetkovic just a little bit too slow to the punch, and there again, didn't quite commit to his strikes. Gets caught with the 1-2 from Nikolai. Nikolai trying to go up top with the head kick. Also grazes the chest, but again, that straight right is money from Nikolai. There it is again. Real accumulation of damage being done here, mixing it up well.
Brave Nation, when you see right hands land like you have, one thing that's sure to happen is that right lands again.
Gorgeous shot from Nikolai. Now lands in the top position in half guard. Good transition, easily to take the mount, but may take them back here.
Round's over. That may have been a technical knockout, Phil. Excuse me, a technical tap out.
I'm not quite sure that we were impeded. We didn't have the greatest of angles there. If we can see another angle, I think we may have seen the tap. I'd like to see that again from another angle, but as I say, they were turned away from us. We couldn't quite see if there was a tap. The referee definitely saw something called an end to the action in the midway point of the second round. It may have been a rear naked choke, not 100% sure. Let's get a look at the action. Here we go, yes, there's the rear naked choke.
Sunk rear naked choke, and that's a tap.
Rear naked choke in the second round from a very awkward angle. In the corner there, representing.
All right, Brave Nation, another explosive battle inside the Brave CF 56 cage. This round comes to an end at 2 minutes and 10 seconds of the second round. Your winner by rear naked choke, Nikolai.
Playing Rock'em Sock'em robots here, but one Rock'em Sock'em was landing more than the other ones. It took its toll. Nikolai was eventually able to get it down to the ground where he wanted it, get those hooks in, get the elbow underneath the chin, close the arms around the neck, and force that tap. Right now we're looking at Milos trying to defend successfully against the double leg takedown. And again, you're seeing Nikolai keeping his opponent on the end of those hands. Very, very difficult technical feat for the shorter fighter, but he did manage to pull it off. There was that kick to the forearm. That was the third one that landed, and that was the beginning of the end. A perfectly timed straight, and that right there is the end of the end. Tap out. It's over. Victory to Nikolai Nico.
This bout is presented by Brave Nutrition. Behind the athlete, there are hours of training. Behind every hard training is Brave Nutrition. Abdullah Al-Qahtani is ready to come back and represent Saudi Arabia on the international stage against Nets Prolozhnik, who's eager to add one more round one knockout victory to his growing resume. Coming up next, Abdullah Al-Qahtani takes on Nets Prolozhnik in a featherweight bout.
Get away.
Here we go, Brave Nation. This next war is 3 5-minute rounds in the featherweight division. Introducing your first warrior. Fighting out of the blue corner. This man is a mixed martial artist with a professional record of 3 wins and 2 losses. He stands 172 centimeters tall and weighs a ready 66 kilograms. Representing TNT Gym and fighting out of Slovenia. Give it up for Nate and his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. This man is a mixed martial artist with a perfect professional record of 3 wins and no losses. He stands 175 centimeters tall and weighs a ready 66.1 kilograms. Representing Fight Club and Riyadh Combat Club and fighting out of Saudi Arabia. Please welcome Abdullah the Ripper. Your referee is Vladimir Mladinov.
Tail off the tape. Abdullah Al-Qahtani, the younger fighter. Height pretty much the same. Weight is bang on. Both these guys are ready to go. Can Nate Prolozhnik show the improvements he has made since joining TNT Gym? Or will Abdullah Al-Qahtani remain undefeated as a professional?
Brave Nation, the opening moments of fight are ordinarily spent by both fighters downloading information on the other fighter's reflexes, strength, speed, that kind of thing. Al-Qahtani is a genius at this. He's going to do it very, very quickly.
You can see just how calm he is as a striker. Fires the shots off with pinpoint accuracy. So calm in there. As we say, an absolute veteran of the stand-up game. Will Nate Prolozhnik try and get in on the takedown against the more accomplished striker, or will he choose to juke it out? Big shot landed by Al-Qahtani.
Nate's has made a clear decision to stand in there and bang!
Oh, and he is throwing bombs!
The problem with trying to stand and bang with a striker at the level of the Ripper is you can get countered, and you get countered as your head moves in.
Trying to get in on the takedown, but nice little check throw from Al-Qahtani. Looked like momentarily he was trying to get in on the guillotine.
Al-Qahtani may have those hands clasped. They are. Very good position for him to be in. And that's why, Brave Nation, when you see those hands clasped together around an opponent, something big's about to happen. We got one hook in. We got the forearm under the chin, Phil.
That looks so tight. Slow, methodical pressure being applied by Al-Qahtani. He's more side on right now. Can Prolozhnik turn into?
He's turning him. He's staying on it. Released. He was very smart to release that.
Nice work by Nate Prolozhnik to ride out the early storm. Now in on the takedown of his own. Needs to be wary of being thrown again by Al-Qahtani. And right now it looks like a little bit of survivalism, more so than anything from Nate Prolozhnik. Al-Qahtani again just looking so calm. Realized he didn't have the choke. Rather than burn his arms out, he let it go.
Brave Nation, if you wonder why they call Abdullah Al-Qahtani the Ripper, look at his opponent's face right now.
Just just approaching the halfway mark of the first round, and it really has been a solid showing so far from Abdullah Al-Qahtani. Trying to go off top of the head. Beautiful!
Big shot right in front of us.
You have to give credit to Preloznik. He's not in there just to make up the numbers. He's firing back.
Absolutely not. Nates is a bad man. He's standing in there in that pocket trying to land big shots of his own.
As you say, it's high risk, high reward. It's almost as if every time he's almost telegraphing that step into the big 1-2. Gets caught by Al-Qahtani. Oh, that's a big shot from Nates Preloznik, trying to land it again. Like I said, on a free, it's a bite down on the mouthpiece and throw heavy leather. Nates Preloznik, ladies and gentlemen. Just gets caught there with a stiff, stinging shot from Abdullah Al-Qahtani.
Very interesting clash of styles here. Nates wants to set down, stay in that pocket, and let his hands go with everything they're worth. A little bit more of a sophisticated game coming from the Ripper.
Trying to get in on a single leg now. Needs to run the pipe on it. Trying to switch to the double trip takedown. Lovely defense and balance by Abdullah Al-Qahtani.
Fantastic offense from Nates. It wasn't good enough. Didn't do anything wrong. He's just fighting somebody who's got incredible takedown defense.
Momentarily had the guillotine switching potentially to a Darce grip here. Can't quite see.
Arm appears to be in all the way. There's no danger yet.
Can't quite see what Abdullah Al-Qahtani's working for here. Nice work from Abdullah Al-Qahtani to create that separation, but Nates Preloznik is like a dog with a bone when it comes to this takedown.
Nates is letting us know where he wants this fight to be, within hands of each other. Doesn't feel like dancing around on the outside and exchanging shots.
Oh, big elbows from Abdullah Al-Qahtani.
Head was low for just a moment, but just a moment. It's not going to drop down to that position again, I promise you.
And not only is this tiring for Abdullah Al-Qahtani to be defending the takedown, trying to go for that trip again. Preloznik was wise to it, but it's also tiring for Preloznik to try and get in on the takedown that's being denied.
He's also been hitting the head cleanly a good few times, and that cuts into endurance. It's hard to fight your heart out, and it's hard to get hit. The simple act of getting hit tires you out. Oh! Little beautiful exchange.
Anticipated in the build-up. Preloznik trying to turn it into an all-out brawl. Beautiful trip takedown there by Abdullah Al-Qahtani, who has shown that he is the more refined technical striker. I think the second round might just follow very much the same kind of pathway, with Preloznik wading in with the big looping shots. Abdullah Al-Qahtani trying to counter.
Phil, I feel like Nates had the best luck when he was at the close range.
Yeah.
Not standing and trading, but in there.
Round, and Brave 56 live from Belgrade, Serbia is delivering. The final card of the year for ourselves, and we are going out with a bang. Oh, nice shot from Preloznik. Done a great job of getting out of the way there as well.
His corner may have told him to be a little bit more elusive after the shot.
Oh, gets pinged with a lovely right hand from Al-Qahtani though.
That time he wasn't elusive after the shot, and you saw the result of it. He's got to land those shots, be it a hand or a foot, and then circle out.
Get out of dodge is right, Kirik. You cannot stand prone right in front of someone like Abdullah Al-Qahtani.
There was an interesting exchange in there, Phil. Instead of circling out, he backed straight up.
Found his back against the cage.
And the Ripper saw that and he said, I know what to do. Feint the shot and go straight in. I'm going to be able to do it safely.
Framing off as Abdullah Al-Qahtani as if to throw a big knee, but it's Preloznik who pops the knee in. Tie clinch from Abdullah Al-Qahtani. Abdullah Al-Qahtani turning it up a little bit now. And surely this kind of a pace is not sustainable, Kirik. Oh, big shot again from Abdullah Al-Qahtani, right down the pipe.
Nates Preloznik absolutely undeterred.
Oh, he dropped him. And now landing elbows, dives right into the open guard of Preloznik. Framing off, trying to land elbows. Has Preloznik recovered?
Nate's throwing those legs up. He's looking for a triangle, looking for an armbar. That armbar attempt, it was absolutely denied, but he's fully in this fight.
Oh, just throws the legs to the side, transitioning beautifully. But Preloznik trying to get in on a leg of his own. Just how compromised was Preloznik by that shot.
Preloznik wants to get that head a little bit higher.
Oh, he's eating big elbows here. Needs to be wary of hitting the back of the head, does Abdullah Al-Qahtani. Carrick, what recovery powers from Preloznik there.
I'm loving this young man. He's absolutely taking huge shots. He is fully in this game, and he's trying to implement the game plan that could win it for him.
That's 3 or 4 times. Oh, big shot with the knee from Abdullah Al-Qahtani. Attempted that takedown, that trip takedown, denied by Preloznik, but ends up eating a huge shot. And right now, Preloznik is just on autopilot. Little bit of a wobble there. Has he been rocked? Al-Qahtani.
3 clean shots away, Phil.
Huge flying knee. Is this the beginning of the end? Frequency being turned up by Al-Qahtani, but Preloznik throwing back with absolute reckless abandon.
Preloznik did a phenomenal job of staying in this fight. His head is only a few seconds away from clearing. Brave Nation, it takes 5 to 10 seconds to clear your head after you get rocked. He has now bought himself that 5 to 10 seconds. He's back in the fight.
Al-Qahtani trying to get in on that figure 4 grip. But again, Preloznik is just an absolute dog here. If he can get a little bit more elevation, but does he have enough left in the tank? Because this has been an absolute war.
Asked and answered, Phil.
Screams out in anguish, giving him that extra little bit of pop in the takedown. But now all that wasted energy, Carrick. You have to give credit to both these guys. Engaging in an absolute war and setting the tone for everyone in the back. Preloznik again trying to get another takedown. Scores the takedown.
Absolutely fantastic. Turns the corner.
But
covers the opponent.
Al-Qahtani's in on the guillotine here. He has that one arm ripped. If he can dig his other arm in, his right arm down in, connect it to his other hand, but right now he's using it more as a stall.
Nate has those hips high enough, so I think that neck is protected.
He's doing a good job of using his head as the point of the tripod.
Hips are a little lower now. Referee is keeping his eyes very closely.
He has S-grip on that forearm of Al-Qahtani, alleviating some of the pressure. And if he can just rip some shots into the body here, he's in the dominant position. You wonder how much Al-Qahtani's got left in the arms, because they have been throwing big, nasty shots at one another.
Brave Nation, there is a risk-reward when you attempt to choke like this. If you try your hardest, you can get the choke, but you can also lose the ability to use your arms.
Nice job from Al-Qahtani to get the feet on the hips, push away, and parlay that into his own takedown. How do you begin to score this fight, Carrick? 10 seconds left in the second round. Big knee
coming for the head. There it was.
What a round of action from both men. Incredible work so far. Evidence inside the cage for him.
Love round 2. Let's see a little more. That was the knockdown.
Was that dedicated? Oh, I thought maybe there'd be clashing heads there, but no, it was the hands of Abdullah Al-Qahtani.
Abdullah doing a great job of staying out of danger when he's in top guard. One of the coolest moments, boom, in that whole round.
Absolutely huge, screamed out. Like a warrior going into battle, screams, scores the takedown. Third and final round of what has been an instant classic here at Brave CF 56 in Belgrade, Serbia.
Brave Nation, last round, both these fighters are now going to fight their heart out. They're going to fight with every single thing they've got left. They don't have to pace anymore.
Abdullah Al-Qahtani just stalking, walking down Nate's Preloznik. Right now, who's going to blink first? Nate's throwing a couple of fakes, trying to elicit some kind of a reaction from Abdullah Al-Qahtani.
Al-Qahtani faked it right straight back.
Oh, lands a nice shot down the pipe. Al-Qahtani looks a little bit quicker to the punch.
Oh, he hurt him. This is the beginning of the end. It's the end of the end. Al-Qahtani.
Saudi Arabia stand-up. Your boy gets it done. The first finish in the professional career of Abdullah Al-Qahtani. And what a way to get it done.
Feeling the inevitable.
And that's the marker that lets you know Landon didn't quite see the kick there. Would love to see that kick again if possible. And that's what we're really starting it. Just completely zapped by losing of all his energy. Huge win for Abdullah Al-Qahtani, continuing to put Saudi Arabia on the map with his sporting endeavor.
Absolutely phenomenal performance, Brave Nation. That is why they call him the Ripper, the Gallant.
All right, Brave Nation, another incredible battle inside the Brave CF 56 Serbia cage. This comes to an end at 1 minute and 3 seconds of the third round. Your winner by TKO due to strikes from Saudi Arabia, Abdullah the Ripper Al-Qahtani.
Phenomenal performance from the Ripper from Saudi Arabia. We're getting to watch one last replay of that phenomenal action. Beautiful 1-2, and the Ripper played for the judges a little bit there. He landed that straight light, lifted that hand up, and gave it a little wiggle, just so it wasn't missed. This was one of the greatest moments of the fight. Absolutely fantastic hip toss. Devastating kick into the forearms.
Like I say, one of Saudi Arabia's finest combat sports athletes. I cannot wait to see this young man back in the cage. I hope he does it with a little bit more frequency, and with a performance like that, surely he can make a case to headline an event in Saudi.
Phil playing matchmaker, and I'm loving the idea.
There you see that big takedown, huge takedown. The heart and will of his Belovic. You have to give him credit for his endeavor in the cage as well. But at the end of the day, the striking acumen and accuracy of Abdullah the Ripper Al-Qahtani was just too much for the Louisiana to handle. And like I said, what a way to get your first finish in your professional mixed martial arts.
This bout is brought to you by Brave Gym. Training for mind, body, and spirit. Brave, it's more than a gym. Tomek Langowski comes in for his Brave CF debut with 3 straight wins by stoppage and eager to make a statement against Jovan Marjanovic, who's riding an impressive 5-fight win streak and also making his promotional debut. Coming up next, Tomek Langowski takes on Jovan Marjanovic in a super welterweight bout.
Here we go, Brave Nation. This next battle is 3 5-minute rounds in the super welterweight division. Introducing your first warrior. Fighting out of the blue corner. This man is a mixed martial artist with a professional record of 5 wins and 1 loss. He stands 189 centimeters tall and weighs a ready 79.8 kilograms. Representing top team Nice and fighting out of Nice, Serbia. Put your hands together for Jovan Marjanovic. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. This man is a mixed martial artist with a perfect professional record of 3 wins and no losses. He stands 183 centimeters tall and weighs a ready 79.8 kilograms. Representing Naksu Gym and fighting out of Deal, Belgium by way of Poland. Please welcome Tomek Langowski. Your referee is Vladimir Baralica.
Tale of the the tape, you can see Jovan Marjanovic, the younger fighter by 7 years, also has a distinct height advantage. Both these men came in on the super welterweight limit, and this is a fight I am very excited about, Carrick.
Let's see how our game plan predictions pull out. Mad Dog wants to keep it standing. His opponent does not.
You always feel that Langowski is just one shot away from ending the fight. Marjanovic needs to be careful of exposing that chin after he's moving back with the chin a little bit high, and someone like Langowski will see that and come over the top with a huge shot. Exchanging. Oh! Marjanovic is the one throwing hands now.
Shocker in the Brave Combat Federation cage!
Oh, and just parlays into the top mount position, lets it go, but Marjanovic has hands, ladies and gentlemen. If anything, that shows I know absolutely nothing about predicting a fight, Carrick. Big shot over the top from Langowski. Marjanovic landing a stinging jab.
Marjanovic shifting very, very sophisticatedly.
Oh, nice straight right down the middle from Marjanovic.
A shift, Brave Nation, is when you start with one side forward and you go to the other side forward. It's like forcing someone to drive on one side of the road and then the other. Very sophisticated technique, coming into increasing use, and we're seeing why.
Oh, Marjanovic is finding a home for the hands. Langowski needs to get his back off the cage. He's firing back, but Marjanovic just isn't there.
That's almost it. We're moments away, Phil. It's it.
Oh, it's all over. Jovan Marjanovic with the biggest win of his mixed martial arts career. No longer just a submission specialist. That is a bona fide striker, character.
Jovan Marjanovic showing that he can mad dog the Mad Dog. Fantastic performance. Absolutely unbelievable seeing a striking king born before us.
And now you see the steely demeanor of Jovan Marjanovic start to slip a little bit. You can see just how much this means to you. You can see that outpouring of emotion to beat someone with the reputation of Tomek Langowski in European MMA is absolutely huge. And he took it to the striker, put the pressure on him right from the get-go, and in doing so, increases his winning streak to 6. Unbelievable performance from the young man.
These local fighters are...
All right, ladies and gentlemen, what an incredible battle inside the cage. We'd like to thank Arena Sports for making tonight so incredible in history with us. This battle ends at 1 minute and 31 seconds of the very first round. Your winner by TKO due to strikes from Serbia, Jovan Marjanovic.
Jovan Marjanovic thanks his mother, thanks his parents, once again showing that respect, the character that's so characteristic of the Brave Combat Federation cage. I have to tell you, Brave Nation, I have rarely been so happy to be wrong. I thought the grappler was going to try and take it to the ground, and instead he delivered to us an absolutely phenomenal exhibition of stand-up striking.
He said to me in the cage before the interview to make it quick. I wasn't going to argue with him. Nice, short and sharp. The interview was very much like the fight itself. Ladies and gentlemen, this is one to watch. He said himself he is the future. Jovan Marjanovic with a fantastic performance here at Brave CF 56.
Phil, how absolutely phenomenal have these Serbian fighters been tonight?
Well, it's something that we already knew, just how dangerous Serbian fighters are, the heart, the tenacity they show. Also, you mix that with incredible skill, you have a very...
All right, Brave Nation, this next battle is 3 5-minute rounds in the light heavyweight division. Introducing your first warrior. Fighting out of the blue corner, this man is a mixed martial artist with a professional record of 3 wins and 1 loss. He stands 193 centimeters tall and weighs a ready 93.3 kilograms. Representing TNT Gym and fighting out of Ljubljana, Slovenia, please welcome Jakub Nedo! And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, this man's a mixed martial artist with a professional record of 7 wins and 4 losses. He stands 191 centimeters tall and weighs a ready 93.3 kilograms. Representing GBG MMA and fighting out of Gothenburg, Sweden. Give it up for Zvonimir, the Croatian sensation, Kral! Your referee in charge of the action, Dejan Tesic.
You can see that Zvonimir Kral, the elder by 4 years, everything else is virtually identical.
Phil, this bout is in the light heavyweight division. This is the most dangerous division in mixed martial arts. The heavyweights are a little slower. When they get knocked out, it can be by accident. The little guys can handle it.
And here we go. Both of these guys, absolute bruisers.
Brave Nation, don't blink. Either of these fighters can end this fight in any second.
10 wins between them, all 10 by way of finish. Zvonimir Kral nice and loose with the leg kicks. Nedo opening up with the hands.
Nedo may be being just a little bit too aggressive this early in the fight.
Oh, that shows the kind of power that Zvonimir Kral has in the legs. That's not much a leg kick as it is swinging a baseball bat right into the femur.
Zvonimir Kral staying on the outside, getting a sense of what kind of game his opponent wants to play, how quick his opponent's feet are, what angles do those hands come from. He's downloading information right now, and he's probably going to start. Yo!
Oh, huge shot from Nedo!
There it was! It's all over!
Very first round, Jakub Nedo with an absolutely huge shot right down the middle, separates Jakub Nedo generate. Let's have another look at that, Kerry. Straight right down the middle, one shot, knew it was all over, walked away. Boom!
Brave Nation, when you punch somebody through their shoulders, when you throw a punch not straight into the center of their body, but across their shoulders, it has a devastating effect. Look at this angle, it's thrown right down, across from one shoulder to the other. When that happens, it is lights out.
All right, Brave Nation, another explosive battle inside the Brave CF 56 Serbia cage. This comes to an end at 50 seconds of the very first round. Your winner by knockout, Jakub Nedo!
Absolutely phenomenal performance from the fighter from Slovenia. I had talked about his evolution from a grappler to a striker. What we saw was an evolution from a terrific striker to a master striker. Absolutely unbelievable performance. Beating the Croatian sensation at his own game. Throwing that shot right down the shoulders, leaving his opponent out on the floor.
Absolutely huge win for Jakub Nedo, and to do it against somebody who's the quality of Zvonimir Kral just illustrates how good Jakub Nedo really is. He says he doesn't have a particular opponent in mind, but the light heavyweight division is quite clearly on notice right now.
This bout is brought to you by Brave Gym. Training for mind, body, and spirit. Brave, it's more than a gym. Zaharovs sees himself as a future title contender at bantamweight and is eager to get back on track against Borislav Nikolic, who is confident of adding yet another finish to his 8 stoppage victories so far. Coming up next, Matisse Zaharovs takes on Borislav Nikolic in a bantamweight bout.
Here we go, Brave Nation. This is 3 5-minute rounds in the bantamweight division. Introducing your first warrior. Fighting out of the blue corner, this man is a mixed martial artist with a professional record of 8 wins and 1 loss. He stands 175 centimeters tall and weighs a ready 61.6 kilograms. Representing Sector MMA and fighting out of Belgrade, Serbia, please welcome Borislav Nikolic. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, this man is a mixed martial artist with a professional record of 4 wins and 1 loss. He stands 172 centimeters tall and weighs a ready 61.7 kilograms. Representing the Honey Badger Academy and fighting out of Kildare, Ireland, by way of Latvia. Give it up for Matisse Your referee in charge of the cage is Deon Tesius.
Tail of the tape, you see Matisse Zaharov's a younger by 4 years, slightly shorter. Borislav Nikolic has not taken his eyes off Matisse Zaharov since he entered the cage. Carrick, this one is going to be a banger.
Ready. I'd like to see Borislav move a little bit. There he goes, circling on the outside. Very smart not to attack right off the bat.
Matisse Zaharov does have that wide stance, darts in and out, not unlike a Taekwondo or karate practitioner, but he's a shot over the top early. Borislav doing a little bit of talking early.
Borislav doing a nice job of feinting with the hands, feinting with the head, feinting with the hips.
Zaharov's chewing up that lead leg. Nice distance management from Matisse Zaharov's.
No feeling out from Borislav Nikolic. He's just letting those hands go at maximum intention.
Nice work from Matisse Zaharov's to pop right back up, giving Nikolic no time at all with which to rest, and now pressures him against the cage. Superior head control being exhibited here by Matisse Zaharov's.
Borislav in on the whizzer, wants to pummel in a little bit more with his other hand, then he should have the leverage he needs to get it off that fence.
Matisse Zaharov's making life very uncomfortable for Nikolic with that head control.
A little bit of a giraffe fight in there where the two are vying for head control. Borislav not winning that head control fight right now.
Matisse may look to try and just shift his body weight round to his right and use the trip takedown. Right now standing square on with Borislav, but Matisse Zaharov so deceptively strong in these positions.
With his head in the place it is, he can pick and choose the shots when he wants, and he's got a high chance of getting the takedown, as you saw right there.
And just transitions beautifully, landing in to that side control position. May go knee on belly.
May be looking to set up a Darce if he loses the game for top side.
Just clamping down on that whizzer position. May look to pop it out. Nice work by Borislav Nikolic to try and reverse the position, but again, that strength of Matisse Zaharov's. You can hear Phil Mogg, Peter. He is not joining us in commentary. That is actually his corner work. One of the loudest corner men in world mixed martial arts. That's doing him a disservice, not just loud, he also gives incredible coaching to his fighters.
Brave Nation, one of the biggest differences between grappling and mixed martial arts is this half guard position. In grappling, bottom half guard is the single most fruitful position you've got. It's not in mixed martial arts. It's essentially being in a half mount.
Zaharov's just putting the pressure on Borislav right now. Landing strikes, making life very, very uncomfortable. Big knee. Again, back into that draining position, but switch from Borislav.
Borislav's got to be careful. He doesn't want to pummel from an even point of control. He wants to get superior control when they're standing, and he needs it in order to overcome this battle.
Nice work from Zaharov's to dig in for those underhooks. And just now again, just making everything uncomfortable for Borislav. Separation, and you wonder how much those grappling exchanges have forced the blood and lactic acid into the arms of Nikolic.
Borislav got it out now where he wants it.
Matisse getting a little bit reckless with that overhand. May try and... was actually the takedown from Borislav there. May have face planted a little bit.
Beautiful lateral drop, and he ends up on top. That means everything on the judges' scorecards. What he's got to do now is start causing damage.
Mati's throwing elbows off his back, has a foot on the hip with Borislav on his right foot on the left hip. May try and create a little bit of an angle. You can see him trying to work for the armbar. He has the angle. Switches to the triangle.
If that head is controlled, it could be a short night.
He doesn't have that shin flush against... He didn't have that shin flush against the shoulders of Nikolic, but...
Beautiful defense from Borislav Nikolic.
Mati Zaharov showing just how dangerous he can be off his back. Needs to be wary of his neck here. Borislav does have 2 wins via guillotine choke so far. Renowned for his choking ability. 3 wins via rear naked choke, 2 via guillotine, 1 via triangle. Mati's doing a good job of keeping the fight honest, landing strikes from the top position. Just in the half guard right now. Nikolic trying to create a little bit of distance, trying to move his head, trying to move the head of Zaharov's off the center line.
Beautiful jiu-jitsu! Got the underhook, got on his side, countered the return. Beautiful job in the closing seconds. Both acquitted themselves well, and there's our little replay. Absolutely phenomenal submarine kick, but what happens? Almost instant back take.
Nice kick to the body from Borislav. Both these men showing just how well-rounded they are, landing good shots, landing in dominant positions on the ground. Zaharov's has been the most dangerous so far with the submission threat, working for that triangle. Again, very wide stance from Mati Zaharov's. Nikolic starting to chase just a little bit. Need to be careful doing that against somebody who's so quick like Mati Zaharov's. Head kick just shy from Zaharov's.
Brave Nation, Nikolic's hands are just a little bit low. The advantage of having your hands that low is the punches can come in from unexpected angles. The disadvantage is you can get punched in the head.
Oh, beautiful duck under anticipation from Zaharov's. Anticipated the big shot coming from Nikolic, ducked under for the takedown. May try and take the back here if Nikolic continues to turn.
Zaharov has that Dagestani handcuff in place. He's got multiple options from here, and they're all good.
You may call it the Dagestani handcuff, but because it's Mati Zaharov's, I'm going to call it the Latvian lace-up. Just sitting inside the half guard in that anchor position, establishing the position before doing anything else. Nikolic doing a good job of landing little pot shots from the bottom.
Borislav staying very, very busy. Takedowns in mixed martial arts do not count as much as they used to. What we're looking for more is damage, is impact.
Little short pot shot elbows there from Mati Zaharov's. Good shoulder pressure, just trying to force the body of Borislav Nikolic away from him. What Borislav Nikolic is trying to do is turn in towards Zaharov's and try and regard. Mati Zaharov's just trying to bring that head of Borislav Nikolic the other direction.
Mati's just trying to get on his side. He can't duck like that, or he can get stuck in a darce. He's got to keep that body somewhat straight, but when you do keep it straight, you can get struck. Oh, beautiful grappling exchange.
Nice job from Borislav Nikolic to get out the back. The educated fans here in Belgrade appreciating what they're seeing. A reversal of fortunes here. Zaharov's has the butterflies. 1 foot on the hip now, but he's eaten a couple of shots. Again, trying to work for that triangle. Big up kick. Needs to be wary of getting his back taken here by Borislav.
What a phenomenal bout for the fans. Mixed martial arts is not just kickboxing with smaller gloves on and wilder shots. It's also beautiful ballet-like exchanges on the ground like we're seeing before us.
Yeah, Kerry, you can see just how technically astute both these fighters are. Just subtle things like trying to create angles, getting the foot on the hip like Mati Zaharov is there. Marking up underneath the eye of Maciej Zaharov's. Did he rock him a little bit with that shot, or was it off balance? Couldn't quite see.
Could have been a little bit of both. Okay, that one was a rocker. That was 2 rockers.
Borislav Nikolić needs to be wary of overextending on his shots here, leaving a submission attempt open. Can't quite see if he has the neck of Maciej Zaharov's. Sprawling, heavy as Borislav Nikolić. May try and sneak in the likes of a Darce or an Anaconda here. As we alluded to earlier, Borislav has an incredible squeeze. 6 of his wins coming by submission, all via choke.
Zaharov's trying to stand here. May go in for a single. There it was. Back up to standing. Stuck not really in an arm and guillotine yet.
Nikolić trying to drop down for that guillotine. He has the hands connected.
There's danger now, Phil.
He steps over, trying to step over that knee of Maciej Zaharov's. He's let the hands go. Nice hand fighting from Maciej Zaharov's. Eats a knee to the shoulder plex, but again, Borislav trying to get in on that neck.
May have a reverse grip there, driving the inside of the forearm up into the throat.
It's a very dangerous position for Maciej Zaharov's to find himself in.
Zaharov's looking to scramble.
Oh, great job by Zaharov's to ride out the danger of the choke and get back to his feet. Gets caught with a shot, more so off balance.
Huge moment, Phil. Absolutely huge moment. If anybody had any doubt who won that round, I think it's been settled by this takedown and cover and some shots coming down.
Maciej Zaharov's working off his back with big elbows from Borislav. Incredible fight so far. Borislav just stands over Maciej Zaharov to ride out the storm and get back to his feet. All to play for going into the 3rd round, potentially, Carrick. There's the duck under and takedown from Maciej Zaharov's.
Look at that drive, that penetration.
Borislav Nikolić on his feet straight away, almost walking over to the corner of Maciej Zaharov's. Referee having to push them back a little bit, say, behave yourself, lads.
Phil, what do you think? Round's even right now. Winner of this round wins the fight.
I think that's a fair summation to make, and if I was in the corner of either lad, I'd be saying that. I'd be saying get in, get the finish, make it definitive. Zaharov's just clips the chest of Borislav with that hook.
I'd like to see Borislav tighten those shots up a little bit. Not throw them quite so wide. Come right down the middle. Show a slightly different look. Like that.
Over the top. Forcing Zaharov's into the takedown. Jumps on the guillotine. Just how tight is it here? Maciej Zaharov's has the arm in trying to protect himself. I believe he has S-grip on the wrist of Borislav Nikolić.
Zaharov's raising those hips just a little bit. When you raise the hips, the pressure is decreased to some extent in the throat. Hey, hips have dropped back down again.
I'd like to see him tripod a little bit more, get up on his legs, drive his own shoulder into the face of Borislav Nikolić.
Borislav now working towards a figure 4 in order to hold his opponent's hips down. When you hold those hips lower, it forces the chin in tighter towards the chest and makes the choke tighter.
Zaharov's has the grip of the wrist. I'd like to see him reach over with his free arm over the head of Borislav and drive his shoulder into the face of Borislav. Borislav trying to readjust him.
Borislav probably wants his hips a little bit farther back, and
nice work.
Zaharov's is out.
Nice work from Zaharov's, but he finds himself back in that position.
Phil, Zaharov's has a little work to do right now to win back the esteem of the judges. He got stuck in that guillotine for a while. He needs to do something spectacular to make them forget about it. That's a good start.
Arm-in guillotine, but now potentially to be a mounted guillotine here by Borislav Nikolić. Oh, that looks tight. Can Maciej Zaharov survive in this position? Doing a good job.
Hands are coming together.
You wonder just how much Borislav Nikolić is putting into this. Is he potentially in danger of burning out his arms?
He's not yet. He doesn't have the hands connected. He's not arching his hips down, not thrusting the chest forward. So far, he's playing a very careful game.
Zaharov's could potentially sneak out the back here, or he could roll Borislav Nikolić over to his side.
See if that half guard can get past. If it is, there's going to be a heck of a scramble.
Matisse nearly taking the back. There it is. Big knee to the chops from Matisse. Matisse Zaharovs needs to get his back off the cage here. He needs to land some damage here so that the judges know that he's in the fight. But that early ground control from Borislav Nikolic will be sitting heavy in the minds of the judges right now.
2 minutes, Brave Nation. 2 minutes left in this fight.
Takedown attempt from Matisse Zaharovs again. Borislav trying to get in on the neck. Nice work from Borislav to end in the dominant position.
Looking for the back now. Denied, standing, 2 good shots. That's how to stand up in mixed martial arts.
Matisse Zaharovs calling Borislav on. Dare I say it, Matisse perhaps looking a little bit fatigued, having to defend. Those submission attempts may have depleted him just ever so slightly. And Matisse trying to get in on a big double.
Hip heist coming up. Maybe a wall walk.
Borislav done a good job to post down and get back. Try to get back up to his feet here. Matisse needs to suck those legs out from underneath Borislav.
And Phil, in some senses more importantly, if he does succeed, he's got to do something with it.
Popped out the back here. How much does Matisse Zaharovs have left in the tank? Borislav right back up again. Potential for a trip here for Matisse Zaharovs.
Borislav Nikolic is one cool move away from proving he is a global talent in mixed martial arts. Less than 30 seconds, Brave Nation.
Takedown here for either man could secure the round. It will be huge. Matisse pressuring Borislav against the cage. 10 seconds to go. Can either fighter do something definitive? Both men exchanging knees in the clinch. Whoa, incredibly close fight. We go to the judge, and what a fight for the fans of grappling.
Absolutely phenom back and forth bout. The two are speaking amiably in the cage. They're putting their arms around each other for the cameras. It's moments like these, Brave Nation, that don't always show on the telecast. I wish you could see. This is brotherhood.
All right, Brave Nation, let's give it up for these two warriors. What an incredible battle inside the cage. After 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards. All 3 judges score the bout 29-28. For your winner, by unanimous decision, from Belgrade, Serbia, Borislav Nikolic!
Fantastic win for Borislav Nikolic. He called out Abdullah Al-Qahtani at 66 kilos. That would be a potentially very interesting fight. The sumptuous submission skills of Borislav taking on the pinpoint striking of Abdullah Al-Qahtani. That's a fight we would love to see inside the Brave Arena. We are going to keep things rolling along. A fantastic match up next. Fight number 7 of the night. Ahmed Laban taking on Nemanja Kovac for the 2nd time. A fight we are all very, very excited about.
This bout is presented by Brave Nutrition. Behind the athlete, there are hours of training. Behind every hard training is Brave Nutrition. One of the Middle East's finest strikers, Ahmed Laban, is back in action and looking to maintain the upper hand against arch rival, Nemanja Kovac, who is eager for revenge from their first fight and confident of moving up in the division. Coming up next, Ahmed the Shadow Laban takes on Nemanja Kovac in a super lightweight bout.
Here we go, Brave Nation! This next battle is 3 5-minute rounds in the super lightweight division. Introducing your first warrior. Fighting out of the blue corner, this man is a mixed martial artist with a professional record of 13 wins and 5 losses. He stands 178 centimeters tall and weighs a ready 75.3 kilograms. Representing Family Fight Team and fighting out of Sambar, Serbia, please welcome Nemanja Sledgehammer Kovac. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, this man is a kickboxer with a professional record of 11 wins and 4 losses. He stands 179 centimeters tall and weighs a ready 75.1 kilograms. Representing American Top Team Zagreb and fighting out of Zagreb, Croatia by way of Lebanon. Give it up for Ahmed the Shadow Laban. Your referee in charge of the cage is Vladimir Badalica.
No one does it quite like Carlos Kramer. You see the tail of the tape here. Ahmed Laban, slightly older, slap bang in the middle of his prime for a super lightweight. And Kirik, this fight will be fireworks.
Brave Nation, Nemanja Kovac's hands right now are covered in gloves and tape, but there are stone fists underneath those gloves.
You can already see why they call Ahmed Laban the Shadow. 1 minute he's there, 1 minute he's not, in and out. Devastating pinpoint striker who does have 2 wins by submission on his ledger. Not just a one-trick pony by any stretch of the imagination. Last time we saw him out, he had a devastating knockout victory over Virgilio Frasignac at Brave 52 in Milan, Italy.
Laban up on his toes, showing shades of Muhammad Ali, as I referred to earlier.
Keeping the hands nice and low, as you alluded to earlier. Keeping the hands low means that your shots come from those unorthodox angles that your peripheral vision just can't pick up.
Phil, rarely if ever do you get a fight where the 2 fighters' nicknames so perfectly describe what's going on here.
Nemanja Kovac really just is the embodiment of that Serbian battle-tested, dig-deep kind of style. Not unlike his teammate, who we will see in the next bout, Miro Jurkovic, very much cut of the same cloth.
Sledgehammer versus a Shadow.
Well, what happens if you swing a sledgehammer at a Shadow? That's exactly what we're going to find out right now. Shades of their first fight, as Kovac is just stalking down Laban. Laban switching stances, trying to give different looks. Big shot to the midsection.
This style of play that Laban is showing is very hard to maintain round after round, and he did have a tough weight cut.
Catch and reply from Kovac. It's almost as if he's just trying to wait for his moment to spring forward, perhaps off one of those kicks of Laban when he's a little bit off balance.
Kovac absolutely conserving of his energy right now.
Maybe just trying to wait for a moment to pounce. Again, constant stance switching by Ahmed Laban. Not only is it difficult to say, it's fun to watch.
The reason Kovac is able to move forward so steadily, a normal fighter cannot, is because of something you can't see. You're not seeing. It's those hands. Those hands are ready and primed to throw with absolute 100% power and accuracy.
Laban trying to turn it up a little bit now with the kicks. Again, his chin just isn't there when Kovac is throwing those big hooks. Jab and move, jab and move. Such a frustrating style to deal with. Kovac starting to move the head off the center line a little bit. Well, you can see a little bit of swelling on the calf of Ahmed Laban. Nice stiff pinpoint jab, and the game plan of Kovac seems to be to attack that front leg, which is really smart when you think about how that would impact the movement of Ahmed Laban.
That is the vulnerability of that side stance.
Laban remaining nice and calm, working the body, changing up the levels. That's a big shot. Nice shot to the body, finishes going up top. So it's the unpredictability of Ahmed Laban that so many fighters find difficult to deal with. I'll be honest, I don't think Ahmed Laban knows what he's going to throw, so how could his opponent prepare for it?
Laban measuring, there it was. Had a little bit of luck with that. Let's throw a couple of low kicks. Feint with the hands and try it again.
Kovac adopting more of a reserved disposition than he did in the first fight. Knows that waiting in, trying to throw big shots could be dangerous and leave himself vulnerable to a counter shot.
I'm liking what I'm seeing from Nemanja Kovac better than I did the first fight. First fight, he just put that head a little bit close to his opponent, walked forward a little too quick. Now he's looking to play much more of a counter-fighting game. That was a beautiful kick.
It's the speed at which they come from. There's no tail on them. Lands his shots and just gets out of dodge. Does the shadow. And so that side kick off the side stance.
Brave Nation, it's a little hard to communicate how impressive it is that we're seeing Laban move in a circular fashion, up on his toes, dance around, and then set down and in an instant throw a powerful calf kick.
And look at the back of the leg of Nemanja Kovac. But Kovac waiting forward, has to be careful there. Had a shot coming in. It's almost as if the corner of Nemanja Kovac had said at the end of the round, could he be conserving his energy to blitz in the latter stages?
I believe he feels like he understands his opponent's style.
Yeah.
And he knows he may not win against it in the first round, but I think he believes in himself. He thinks he's got a sense of his timing. He thinks he knows when those shots are going to come, and he's going to be able to counter. But fighting a shadow is a lot easier said than done.
Second round all ready to go here. Brave Combat Federation 56 live from Belgrade, Serbia. And what a night of action we have had already. Now we're being treated to a chess match of striking. Nemanja Kovac with a slightly wider stance this time, but that leg is getting chewed up. Nice reply from Kovac. Turning it up a little bit more in the second round here. Carrick, look at the marking up of that calf. That's crazy.
Fell against normal. Seeing that on almost any other fighter I can think of, I'd be very concerned for him. I'm not. This is a fighter who can take extraordinary punishment. This is to him so far a day in the office.
Ahmed Laban able to maintain that in and out, up and down stance, very light on the toes, on the balls of the feet.
Brave Nation, Phil and I are watching that front foot of Nemanja Kovac to see whether the accumulated kicks have an effect on the nerves, and you get what's called foot drop. You lift the foot up and the toes don't come off the mat. It's a very, very tough position to be in a fight. We're watching very carefully for it. You should too.
Catches the leg. Does Kovac thought he was going to come over the top there? Oh, big shot on the top.
Huge shot! That's more than a wobble.
Laban going in for the ninja choke.
It's tight. Ninja choke is in.
Oh, sits down over it. That looks so tight.
That's it.
The striker showing just how well-rounded he is.
No! I cannot announce it right now, but there are some big things coming for this young man. There you see it. Spins to the front. Hooks that elbow underneath the chin, locks the ninja choke in place, and then sits down, stuffing the chin over that forearm into the chest and forcing the tap!
Beautiful performance from Ahmed Laban. You can already see the squeezes on. Grabs the bicep, tightens it, squeezes the elbows together, giving his opponent absolutely no space, completely blocking off that carotid artery, supplies blood to the brain. Night-night in the Nemanja Kovac. What a performance, Laban the man.
Phil, that squeeze was in all the way, and then you sit down into it. Absolutely impossible position to stay in, I guarantee you, Nemanja Kovac.
All right, thank you to the one and only Arena Sports for your incredible relationship with us, making history tonight. Make sure you watch all of the highlights, all of the fights tonight on Arena Sports and the Arena Fight channel. Another explosive event and fight that comes to an end at 1 minute and 32 seconds of the second round. Your winner by guillotine, Ahmed the Shadow Laban.
Phenomenal fight tonight. And big respect to the man in his corner, Mo Fakhreddin. We're watching that action, moving around Muhammad Ali style, circling, and then throwing long range shots from the outside, long range teep kicks, long range straights, long range kicks to the calf. And you can see the devastating effect of those kicks when you look at that calf. The calf being destroyed caused the body to collapse. The body collapses, the choke goes in place, and the icing on the cake is just about to come up. The hips rocket down towards the ground, driving the chin over that forearm and into unconsciousness. Phenomenal technique from the Shadow.
Just want to correct myself there. I'm sure some of you picked up on it. I said super welterweight.
This bout is brought to you by Brave Gym. Training for mind, body, and spirit. Brave, it's more than a gym. Mikhail Alakhverdian is ready to make a statement in the ever-growing middleweight division as he comes in to take on Serbia's own Miro Djurkovic, who wants to replicate worldwide the form that made him a national champion at home. Coming up next, Mikhail Alakhverdian takes on Miro Djurkovic in a middleweight bout.
All right, Brave Nation, this is the main event of the evening. 3 5-minute rounds in the middleweight division. Introducing your first warrior. Fighting out of the blue corner, this man's a mixed martial artist with a professional record of 11 wins and 4 losses. He stands 188 centimeters tall and weighs a ready 84.3 kilograms. Representing Family Fight Team and fighting out of Samar, Serbia, please welcome Miro Djurkovic. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, this man is a mixed martial artist with a professional record of 9 wins and 3 losses. He stands 190 centimeters tall and weighs a ready 83.8 kilograms. Representing Pedagogic Team and fighting out of Rostov-on-Don, Russia, by way of Armenia, please welcome Mikhail Alakhverdian. Your referee is the Bandit, Decky Larkin.
Tail of the tape time. Mikhail Alakhverdian, the younger. Both these guys weighing in on the middleweight limit. If you have a fight of this magnitude, you need one of the best in the world as your third man in the middle. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Decky Larkin is your referee. Here we go.
Tales of the Tape brought to you by our top-level sponsor, Mozart.
We spoke about it in the pre-show. Mikhail Alakhverdian is the very definition of a fire blanket fighter. And Miro Djurkovic should send surprising, some would say. Needs to be wary of exposing the neck for the guillotine here, especially when both these men are dry, switching to grasping the wrist. You wonder just at the very early stages of the fight.
Angle of the head, Phil, is safe so far. There's some degree of danger now. The elbow is dropped.
Miro Jurkovic trying to fight the wrist. Alakverdian not putting the squeeze on immediately, just taking his time. And decides to let go and strike. A little bit of a reprieve for Miro Jurkovic. I wonder if that was the right thing to do. Miro Jurkovic will certainly think twice about shooting again. Alakverdian known for pressuring his opponents against the cage and working for the takedown from there. Right now, happy to stand with Miro Jurkovic. Always a dangerous prospect, but he got caught coming in there to Jurkovic.
Mikhail's having luck with that short straight right. He's most likely going to try it again fairly soon. There it was.
Jurkovic trying to come over the top to counter that forward momentum of Alakverdian. Alakverdian looks very, very composed in there.
This is his game, Phil. He stands exactly where he wants to, edges in. Opponents think that they're safe from those shots, but they're not.
Got caught with a shot there off the jab of Jurkovic.
Ooh, beautiful reverse elbow attempt.
He's definitely keeping Jurkovic guessing, and one thing we can say about Jurkovic, he will be in there for as long as the referee lets him. You always feel that Alakverdian is just one step away from initiating the clinch. Nose bloodied up already of Jurkovic.
Alakverdian doing it.
Oh, he dropped him!
Alakverdian doing a brilliant job stopping those leg kicks.
Jurkovic doing everything he can to try and get up, but this is exactly where Alakverdian does some of his best work. Such a dominant ground fighter and can land heavy, heavy ground and pounds. A master of sport and combat sambo, which is essentially mixed martial arts in a gi. And right now, Alakverdian is in the dominant position. Jurkovic holding on with the high guard. Trying to wrap up an arm of Alakverdian. It's a very dangerous position for Jurkovic to find himself in, Kirik. Nice short elbow.
That's one of the things that's not allowed in combat sambo. Brave Nation, behind the scenes, we all discuss what's the greatest background sport for mixed martial arts. Muhammad the Hawk Shahed absolutely believes it's combat sambo, which doesn't allow elbows. These are allowed in the Brave Combat Federation cage. You take that combat sambo, you add even more weapons, and what you've got is terrifying.
And that nose of Jurkovic is fairly bloodied up. When he's lying on his back, you wonder if that blood is slipping back, impeding the breathing. Alakverdian in on the neck again, has that cradle position that we see in collegiate wrestling.
Elbow coming.
Frame off elbow. There it is. And again, he's really starting to go to work, messing up the face of Miro Jurkovic. Jurkovic doing everything he can to try and get to his feet, but it's just that dominant fire blanket style by Alakverdian. Landing big shots.
Second reverse elbow, this time coming from the other side. What a beautiful back take.
Just a big, dirty ragdoll of a takedown.
Executed with all the oh!
It was almost as if Miro Jurkovic tried to roll there. Alakverdian was aware of it and just let go, forcing Jurkovic to face plant.
That victory roll is not going to be possible against a combat sambo practitioner at this level.
Another big takedown, and Jurkovic must be thinking to himself, what do I need to do here? He's eating big shots.
30 seconds, Phil. The round may get stopped.
Teki Larkin took a long, hard look at that, and a lot of the time it's a case of saving Miro Jurkovic from himself.
Jurkovic is calling him on.
I think he slipped there more so on the blood.
Crowd exhorting their man forward.
Another big shot landed by Alakverdian.
Plum attempt would have been followed by knees. Miro Jurkovic still in there, still throwing back.
It's another big shot. That's the round. Wow. The impediment of having the bloodied nose, the shots he absorbed. And I was surprised to see Miro Jurkovic shooting in for the first takedown. Big heavy sprawl from Alakverdian.
Phil, we saw what happened in the very first round when both fighters were absolutely even. We're going into the second round, and these two fighters are not starting on an even keel.
Decky Larkin having to send the fighters back to their respective corners. Second round, seconds out.
Glove
Respect
touch.
earned. Yep.
No more love in these gloves. Not until it's over.
And Miro Jurkovic cannot let Mikhail Alekverdian get his hands on him. Can't let him pressure him against the cage and initiate that clinch.
We're seeing Mikhail's beautiful distance management. Opening those hands, catching the incoming shots, slipping away just a little bit, and then throwing at angles.
He does have very, very solid fundamental boxing. Doesn't need to do anything too crazy. Works off a nice double jab, and again, that nose of Miro Jurkovic opening up. He may be a little bit wobbled here, but he's in the fight right to the end. You have to finish Miro Jurkovic to put him away. Jurkovic happy to stand in the pocket and exchange, but you have to wonder how far is he away from the point of diminishing returns.
He's biting down on that mouthpiece, waiting for an opportunity to land a big looping shot, overhand right, uppercut or hook. Whether that happens or not is very much in question.
Lots of feints and short shots being thrown by Mikhail Alekverdian to elicit the response, to get a bite on the feint from Miro Jurkovic, and everything's coming just a little bit slower now for Miro.
Brave Nation, if you're curious as to why MMA fighters reach out with those hands a little bit more than do boxers, it's because the punches coming in boxing are from very predictable angles. In MMA, it can happen from anywhere. It's to the advantage to leave that hand out and try and intercept them.
Oh, Jurkovic trying to land that shot over the top. Alekverdian just marching him down right now.
Miro looked for a big shot there.
Alekverdian just charging down. Oh, clips with the spin and back kick.
Maybe an elbow coming. Beautiful reverse elbow, there it was.
Jurkovic needs to be careful of dipping that head down. He's primed for an uppercut, and if I can see it, I'm sure the corner of Mikhail Alekverdian can see it too.
Alekverdian's done a beautiful job of stopping those incoming low kicks, either by avoidance or by checking.
There's a shot to the body that just rippled Miro Jurkovic.
It was actually a little bit of an unusual shot. That was a shot to the heart. Pretty common in boxing. You don't see it much in mixed martial arts.
Jurkovic face turning into a crimson mask. Alekverdian not taking any unnecessary risks here, just the cumulative damage being landed.
Feel huge respect to Miro Jurkovic for staying in this fight. Huge respect to the man in front of me.
And on the takedown, may take the back here is Alekverdian. Can't quite see if Miro's in on that Kimura grip.
Miro's got that figure four.
May not necessarily be using it for the submission, may try and sweep with it. Particular favourite of Irish commentary legend Noel O'Keefe's. Decky Larkin warning Mikhail Alekverdian not to strike the spine.
I have to say in his defense, those strikes did look fairly clean to me so far. Always good, of course, to warn fighters about the potential for an illegal move.
And you wonder, does Miro have enough to try and rip the Kimura? No, Alekverdian gets out.
Asked and answered. And again, Phil, we're seeing that brilliant distance management for Mikhail Alekverdian.
Oh, we could be looking at the beginning of the end here, Carrick.
Miro in hard on that single leg.
And
wants to reverse this fight bad.
And you have to give Miro credit for his ability to stay in. But again, like I say, when does it get to the point of diminishing returns where it's to the detriment of the fighter to stay in this kind of situation?
He's absolutely even further earning the respect of the fans in Brave Nation.
Back of the head.
Shot was absolutely to the back of the head.
Referee Dickie Larkin calls a halt to the action here. Miro Jurkovic has the full 5 minutes to recover. I don't think a point's going to be taken. I think it's just a warning. Calls the action back in. 10 seconds left. Jurkovic trying to land that one big shot that can end the fight.
Nice kick. Low kick buckled that knee a little bit.
Incredible co-main event here at Brave Combat Federation 53 in Belgrade, Serbia. You see Miro just charging forward. No concern for his own safety or consciousness, winging huge shots. Third and final round of what has been an absolute war of attrition. Big deep breaths being taken by Miro. Third and final round. Respect shown to both fighters. Quick hug and then break and punch each other in the face. Again, Miro charging in with that head down.
Alakverdian's going a little harder. Alakverdian wants to get his opponent out of there.
Do you think he can smell a little bit of blood in the water? If it's going by the face, a lot of blood.
I think he's tired of playing safe on the outside, distance managing, picking and choosing his shots.
Miro shooting in for a takedown again, very dangerous.
There it is!
Uses the guillotine grip just to turn Miro Jurkovic. Miro clamping onto a leg.
Trying to inch that. Brave Nation, he's trying to pull the leg in just a little bit and then go knees down. Once he's got the leg in tight and knees down, he can try and reverse the position. But it's a long way to go.
But Alakverdian so strong in these positions that it's essentially like trying to shift an immovable object. Nigh impossible, Kirik.
There's the knees down. Legs sucked in. There is a chance at reversal here, and it was denied. Arms are stretched out too far. Hip was blocked from moving. Submission coming, Phil.
Cranking down on that neck, just flattening Miro Jurkovic out. May try and take the back here. Transitions to the back take. Miro doing the right thing by trying to turn in. Needs to be wary of the guillotine here. Right through goes Mikhail. And Miro Jurkovic still trying to land shots off his back. Eating hammer fists. Miro Jurkovic might just be one of the toughest fighters in all of mixed martial arts.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, Brave Nation, this is bravery you're seeing in front of you. This is true bravery. You're also seeing exquisite skill for Mikhail Alakverdian.
Yeah, his ground control has been absolutely undeniable.
He has kept himself almost entirely safe in this fight and put himself in the position to constantly throw very, very dangerous shots and submission attempts. Brilliant fight so far by the man from Armenia.
The only thing he hasn't done is finish Miro Jurkovic, which is considerably easier said than done. Right now just solidifying the position, compromising the breathing of Miro Jurkovic.
There's a thing that happens in a fight sometimes, Phil, where a fighter asks himself, what can I do to get this guy out of here? Hit him with my best shots, got him with my best kicks, tried several submission attempts, he's still there, and at that point it may be the smart thing to not back off, to not back off all the way, but back away just a little bit. Don't go too crazy. Ride that fight out. Take the W.
Lesser fighters would have just accepted defeat in situations like this, given up the back, maybe accepted a choke, maybe taken a couple of punches, finished. But Jurkovic is trying everything. He's clearly fatigued. He's still trying to work for a leg. He's managed to get back up to his feet, gets taken down again, but never resting on his laurels is Miro Jurkovic.
100%, absolutely. Tried to stand up, but that didn't work. Spun to bottom half guard. Wants to try and dig that left arm into the underhook, get on his side, grab a near leg, and try and reverse it.
Needs to be wary of the submission attempt here as Miro Jurkovic, but Miro in on his own single.
But limp leg out by the man from Armenia. "45 seconds, Brave Nation."
And you can hear the partisan crowd here in Belgrade willing on Miro Jurkovic. And he's throwing everything he has, what little energy he has. Huge stiff shot there by Alec Verdian. Covers referee Deki Larkin in blood. 20 seconds to go, and if you had said at the midway point that Miro Jurkovic was going to make it to the end of the third round, I think a lot of people would have been surprised, Carrick.
Phil, I am proud and honored to be witnessing this from cage side. Absolutely, these two fighters have given every measure. Flying knee kick from the Armenian. Looping shots, fight ends.
One thing you can say with absolute certainty is that might just be one of the toughest fighters in the history of mixed martial arts, throwing everything until the end. Surely knew he was down on the judges' scorecards, but tried to throw everything. Eats a huge knee.
That was an example, Phil, of the absolutely beautiful distance management that he's shown. Look at that. Slips just out of the outside of the shot and then moves in with a booming shot of his own. Whoop, boom! Flying knee strike to the head and a spinning elbow attempt from Miro. Down but never, ever out, looking for that spinning elbow attempt a second time.
All right, Brave Nation, give it up for these two warriors. What an incredible co-main event of the evening. After 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards. All 3 judges scored the bout 30-27 for unanimous decision victory. Out of the red corner, Mikhail Alec Verdian.
Brave Nation, we have got one more fight. We're getting a little bit of that extraordinary action from the co-main event, but we do have the main event of the evening coming up. Do not change that dial. This show was great from beginning to end, and it is going to end on the highest note. Elbow coming. There it was.
Mikhail Alec Verdian doesn't speak a lot of English, but he was able to say, Miro Jurkovic, you are a warrior, you have a lion heart. The amount of respect that these competitors have for one another, especially after a war like that, that's one of the hallmarks of MMA, that's one of the hallmarks of Brave Combat Federation, and it's why we love this sport so much, Kerry.
100%, Phil. There's only 2 sports I know of where the fighters always embrace at the end. In no other sport does it happen from the heart. It's boxing and it's mixed martial arts. Mixed martial arts has inherited the mantle from the previous generation. Previous generations of extraordinary athletes in boxing. You are watching right now the world's preeminent combat sport in the world's only truly global mixed martial arts organization, Brave Combat Federation.
This bout is presented by Brave Nutrition. Behind the athlete, there are hours of training. Behind every hard training is Brave Nutrition. Rolando D is ready to remind the world why he's the reigning Brave CF Fighter of the Year when he takes on hometown hero Slobodan Maksimovic, who is eager to improve his winning streak and position himself in a world-class lightweight division. Coming up next, Rolando the Incredible D takes on Slobodan Limp Maksimovic in the main event of the evening.
Brave Nation, Mozart, and Arena Sports, where you can watch all the action of tonight on Arena Sports and the Arena Fight channel. This main event is sanctioned by the Serbian Mixed Martial Arts Federation and its president, Luka Nikolic. Your three judges cage-side are Vladimir Badilica, Vladimir Mladenov, and Almir Zavkalovic. Two men enter, and only one leaves with his arm raised in victory. Who comes out on top in this amazing main event? It's time to find out. Two of the lightweight division's most incredible warriors are set to collide in the Brave CF 56 Serbia cage. Serbia's finest against Philippines' greatest for bragging rights across the globe. Let's introduce our two main event warriors. Brave Nation, it's time to be brave. Before we begin, I have one question for you and one question only. For all those watching in the amazing country of Serbia and the millions watching around the world, Brave Nation, are you ready for war? All right, Brave Nation, this next battle is 3 5-minute rounds in the lightweight division. Introducing your first warrior, fighting out the blue corner. This man's a mixed martial artist with a professional record of 17 wins, 6 losses, and 1 draw. He stands 178 centimeters tall and weighs a ready 70.7 kilograms. Representing Sector Academy and fighting out of Belgrade, Serbia, please welcome Slobodan Limp Maksimovic. Introduces his opponent, fighting out the red corner. This man's a mixed martial artist with a professional record of 14 wins, 10 losses, and 1 no contest. He stands 173 centimeters tall and weighs a ready 70.6 kilograms. Representing the incredible fighting and fitness and fighting out of Das Marinas, the Philippines. Please welcome the 2020 Brave Combat Federation Fighter of the Year, Rolando, the Incredible D. For fighter instructions, it's your referee, the Bandit, Dickie Larkin.
This is my commands at all time. Obey my commands at all time. If you want to touch gloves, do it now. Go back to your corner. Let's go.
Belgrade, Serbia, let's make some noise!
Carlos Kramer giving it stacks. Shout out to Carlos Kramer for the 5th year in a row. He has just been voted Fightbook MMA Cage Announcer of the Year. No one does it better.
Little glove touch.
This is an incredible main event we have in prospect. Head kick to open up from Slobodan. Nickname Limp coming because of his love of Limp Biscuit as a young man. I can get on side with that, no problem.
Rolando right now relying on distance, a little bit of subtle head movement.
Oh, that was a nasty leg check. Big leg kick from Rolando D, checked by Slobodan Maksimovic.
Rolando showing that kick did not hurt him.
Rolando D has absolutely huge legs for a lightweight. Carries some serious power in his kicks. Serious power in his hands as well, as we saw when he fought Nemosh Raza back at Brave 22 in March 2019 in the Philippines. Waiting forward, big shots from Rolando D, initiates the clinch. Slobodan Maksimovic keeping calm, trying to force the head away, digging in now for the underhook.
Rolando trying to stop that underhook from coming in there. Then he's going to want to put his hands together, take it down to the ground so he can punch from an even more safe position. That arm's coming around.
Rolando used to just be thought of as somewhat of a one-dimensional striker, but he showed against the likes of John Bruyan and Maciej Orszewski just how good his situational awareness was when it came to his grappling.
He's got double underhooks right now. He just uses knee twice and his shoulder once to strike his opponent. Knee twice, shoulder twice. And a stomp. Elbow over the top. Rolando D showing a complete striking game.
Maksimovic reverses the position, but again, switch from Rolando. Showing the fruits of his labor when it comes to his new strength and conditioning program here, Carrick.
We did discuss just before this bout that could be the telling factor in this fight is the new highly enhanced strength and conditioning of Rolando D.
Doing a good job now of forcing Maksimovic to carry a little bit of his weight, but right now out into the open forum of the cage.
That's the second clean low kick that's been landed by Slobodan Maksimovic. Very cleverly throwing a high kick on the opposite side, but he's going to go back down with that right low kick a second time. And fairly sure.
Right to the midsection, probably caught a little bit of elbow too. Rolando D just throws a different kind of leg kick. It's not your prototypical MMA fighter throwing a leg kick. Just shy with a head kick was Maksimovic. Reply from Rolando D. A little bit tentative right now. Neither fighter wanting to step into the pocket, keeping it at kicking range for the most part. It's a case of anything you can do, I can do, exchanging kicks one for one. A little bit of a Muay Thai vibe going on in this fight. You land and I land. Rolando turning it up ever so slightly. Oh, and that leg kick, that was felt by Slobodan.
Little shake of the head from Rolando D. Said nope.
Rolando just trying to find the little pockets to unleash the hands. Got the hands down nice and early to defend the takedown, but Slobodan, a fantastic grappler in his own right.
Okay, Phil, this is massive. He avoided that takedown, separated, landed a shot, now they're separated. Huge moment for him. Now that he's a little bit less worried about that double leg, he can start to open up with the hands a little bit more.
And physically, he does look a lot stronger. His shots are coming with a lot more pop than we usually see from Rolando. Not that he wasn't powerful, it's just he looks even more powerful right now. Slobodan with the duck on the takedown, but cannot get Rolando down. Rolando clinching down on that overhook.
And what we're seeing here, Phil, is that Slobodan is not comfortable standing and trading with his fighter. He wants to take it down on the ground where he feels like he has a distinct advantage.
I think those leg kicks landed by Rolando D have definitely had an impact on Maksimovic.
Round one ends. Very exciting round.
Nice show of respect.
But probably nothing more than you showed the last time. We are seeing a new fighter in front of us, and when you cut down on your percent body fat, it makes it easier to cut weight because it's much harder to cut weight from fat than it is to cut weight from muscle. So you're seeing a fighter who's not as tired after the cut as we've had in the past, compounding what I think is going to be a big advantage in this fight.
Decky Larkin needing to have eyes in the back of his head to keep the fighters in their corner, both chomping at the bit to get the second round started here.
Okay, quick check from Slobodan.
Oh, Rolando D again just crashing in those leg kicks. And even though Slobodan Maksimovic is getting his leg up to check the kick, he's not really turning out to the angle to meet the shin on shin of Rolando D. So he is still absorbing a lot of the pop there, Carrick.
Still, Phil, we are seeing him respond to incoming attacks, which you don't with some fighters. Some fighters step in there, they've got a game they're playing, and they keep playing it. We are seeing him try and avoid those calf kicks.
Oh, big shots from Slobodan moving forward. A big flare takedown. Serious strength from Rolando D.
Little visit on Air Philippines.
Rolando D now just clasping down, position before submission. Needs to be wary of that wrist grip, wrist control from Slobodan.
Slobodan showing some nice shots from bottom.
Oh, that's a nice elbow.
Landed multiple elbows, landed multiple punches. He's got that wrist control. He's going to try and stuff it for a triangle. Then he's going to try and control the head, was unable to.
Good job from Slobodan to get back to at least 3 points of contact on the ground. But Rolando wise to it, and now almost has a cradle. Can't quite see if the hands are connected. A little bit of separation here, right back to the stand-up.
It's interesting, Phil. That in-guard position is not D's favorite. He'd rather be standing there. I think he took it to show that he couldn't. He just showed what he can do off a takedown.
Just riding the momentum like a surfer hitting a big wave.
I shoot, I score. You shoot, I score.
Huge knee to the midsection. Everything that Slobodan Maksimovic is trying to do, Rolando D is doing incrementally better, which is a huge difference maker in this kind of a fight.
This is absolutely, positively the best Rolando D we have ever seen.
Taking the middle of the cage right now. Just shy with a head kick with Slobodan, proving that he's still dangerous in this fight.
Very smart to go low.
Rolando now just almost taking the leg kick of Slobodan to fire back his own. Beautiful combination there. Just turned the hip over wonderfully on that leg kick. Maksimovic can't take a lot more of these. Trying to get a little bit of kicking offense off himself. Oh, trying to catch the knee coming in, just brushed the shoulder of Slobodan Maksimovic, and a big takedown now would be absolutely huge for Maksimovic.
I gotta say, Phil, that was a brilliantly timed entry into that. It was not successful, but that timing was exquisite. Rolando D got a tight whizzer. He's got an underhook. He's going to be able to reverse the positions, as you see right there.
Pops down on the whizzer, uses his underhook to almost steering wheel Slobodan Maksimovic against the cage. Making good use of those little shoulder pop shots. Again, doubles up on it. If you see Maksimovic switch stances, that's usually a telltale sign that the leg kick is starting to take effect.
Beautifully timed jab.
Rolando D looking very much smooth and in control of this bout. Little shake of the head there. Very much like a chess match, isn't it, Kirik? Both these guys are acutely aware of how dangerous their opponent is. And don't want to do anything careless, but still need to look as dangerous, aggressive, and offensive as they can. Oh, big straight to the body and a shot to the body from Rolando D.
Slobodan earlier had shot in, wasn't able to get his opponent down to the ground. He shot a second time, turned into a left hook. Very, very smart change up in his game.
Oh, head kick from Slobodan.
Again, fake level change, this time into a kick. He may try it again, level change. I don't know what he's going to throw off of it.
But the thing with Rolando D,
characteristically a base shift when you kick off that free leg.
Here you see some of the action in the second round. Some nice shots landed there by Slobodan, but like I say, no change in the pace of Rolando D.
That was the ride on Philippine Airways. Beautiful.
Big hard double
with the head in the middle. And a beautiful takedown the other way that was instantly reversed. That's poetry in motion, Brave Nation.
D is up 2 rounds, so Slobodan Maksimovic may need to put the foot on the gas here and look for the finish.
Phil, in the corner, there's always a question in the coaches and in the fighter's mind. If you think you won the fight, do you keep doing what you're doing, or do you try and back off just a little bit and put yourself in a little bit less danger and ride that out? Most fighters, and you're seeing it right here, wisely choose to stay aggressive. You stay with the gal that brung you. If you got here aggressively, stay aggressive.
Rolando D in with the overhook and the underhook, reversed the position, but Slobodan really needs to go to work here.
Slobodan winning that giraffe fight. Close to being reversed now.
Rolando D momentarily thought about the trip takedown. Good work to dig in for that underhook. As we've seen, very strong in this position has been Rolando D.
Brave Nation, with that underhook and overhook you're seeing there, both fighters' arms are essentially stifled. So there's a little game going on with their free arm to try and secure control or get on top of the other arm to stop incoming knees, elbows, and punches.
A little bit of a stalemate right now, but surely this favors Rolando D, who's potentially up 2 rounds.
Potentially. There's a reason there's a saying, never leave it in the hands of the judges.
Great point.
I need to see Rolando D, if he wants to win this fight, be a little bit more aggressive right now. In the eyes of some of the judges, simply being pinned up against that fence and eating a couple of relatively light shots to the legs may be huge. Rolando's got that whizzer. He needs to pummel in with his other hand, reverse off the wall, separate, throw a shot, and go back to winning this bout.
Approaching the midway point of the 3rd and final round. Like I say, stalemate here. Little knees being landed by Slobodan Maksimovic. I wouldn't be surprised if Decky Larkin separates them.
A little exchange of elbow shots. Fighters may be doing just enough.
Just as I say, Decky Larkin calls for the separation. He's seen enough. Needs to see a little bit more action from both men.
Slobodan Maksimovic did a very, very good job there. Level changing, getting in, pinning his opponent on the hips. I think he's going to try it again.
In order to do that, he's going to have to try and get Rolando D against the cage wall, which is a lot easier said than done.
Yeah, you try and tie up with Rolando D, you're going to take a walk through the garden of pain.
Maksimovic getting a little bit more confident with the strikes now. Just shy with a big overhand was Maksimovic right in front of us here in our broadcast position. Head kick attempt, more on the gloves from Rolando D. A little bit more tentative in the closing stanzas here of the 3rd and final round. 90 seconds to go. Can either fighter do anything really definitive? Very, very measured, controlled performance so far from Rolando D.
Rolando D wants to turn it up right now.
Final minute.
There he goes. Judges are going to ask themselves, whose will be done?
Oh, shot over the top from Maksimovic.
Maksimovic right now is imposing a distance of his choice.
You can tell Maksimovic wants to engage in another big double attempt from Rolando D. This time defended, and a takedown would be absolutely huge right now for Rolando D. Back into that 50-50 position. Takedown from Maksimovic.
Huge moment for Maksimovic, Phil. Huge, huge, huge.
The Serbian natives right now absolutely loving it.
Rolando D looking for some nasty elbows, not having any luck yet.
10 seconds to go in what's been an absolute chess match of a mixed martial arts bout. Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it for the final time tonight. We go to the judges' scorecards.
fantastic showing by both of these fighters. They both stand up, throw their arms overhead. 27 bout.
29-28?
The 29-28 bout.
It's okay, Carrick.
I'm a little too excited by all the action we've seen tonight.
Numbers are hard, Carrick. Don't worry about it. Scores just being tabulated.
Brave Nation, there is such. We're sitting right next to the head officials table. I'm actually having to cover my eyes so I don't look over and see before the rest of you what the judge's decision is.
Rolando D once again holding up the hands 2-1, he believes. Maksimovic holding the Serbian flag aloft. Both these fighters earning the respect of everyone here in attendance tonight. Watching some of the action here, and again, a real measured performance from both men. This fight for me was all about the leg kicks and the clinch work, Carrick.
All right, Brave Nation, give it up for both of these warriors in our main event of the evening. Don't forget to catch all of the highlights, all of the action from tonight on Arena Sports and the Arena Fight Channel. Ladies and gentlemen of Brave Nation, after 3 unbelievable rounds, we go the judges' scorecards. Your first judge scores about 30-27, and your next judge and third judge scored about 29-28 for your winner by unanimous decision from Belgrade, Serbia, from Bahrain,